Good morning. Welcome to another NY and JPA morning discussion. It's October 31st. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone out there. Looks like we're going to have some excellent weather conditions for trick-or-treating. So let's get to the forecast. For this morning, you can see it's pretty chilly out with plenty of snow cover, especially over the interior, with temperatures ranging from the mid-20s over portions of northern Connecticut all the way down to the lower 30s in southern New Jersey. So clearly we're having a very chilly morning in place, and because of all these cold temperatures, especially for this time of year, there is a threat for some black ice this morning. So use some caution when driving and when walking around parking lots and sidewalks and whatnot. The good news is that temperatures are going to be well above freezing for this afternoon, and there will be no threat for black ice for all the trick-or-treating ghouls and ghosts that will be out there this afternoon. Notice we also have some increasing clouds with a weakening disturbance approaching from the west. You can see on the surface map, high pressure is sitting right over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area, producing tranquil weather conditions. Meanwhile, we have a cold front and area low pressure approaching from the west, but this disturbance is weakening. When we take a look at the water vapor satellite picture, you can clearly see our disturbance driving towards the Tennessee River Valley, and it will eventually dive towards the North Carolina coast. Now, this high pressure system will eventually start to give way this evening, leading to increasing clouds. However, this whole disturbance is pretty much splitting. This portion of the upper level disturbance will lift into Canada and weaken rapidly. You could already see the boundary, the cold front and occlusion boundary here is rapidly just falling apart. We're having a new area of low pressure developing over the upper Midwest that will dive south towards the North Carolina coast. Now, typically this would lead to a rather stormy weather pattern for the rest of this week. However, we're seeing a little bit of a change in the pattern. Our upper level low over the Canadian Maritimes is moving northeast, and you see this disturbance right here? This disturbance will keep the whole pattern progressive. So when this low pressure system dives towards the North Carolina coast, instead of moving up the east coast close enough to produce periods of rain, it instead will move east-northeast far enough off the east coast to produce only minor impacts for the region. So let's take a look at the forecast using the GFS model guidance, but really you can use pretty much the European model guidance, Canadian, whatever you wish. For this morning, again, high pressure will be in control. High pressure will remain in control for this afternoon. Notice high pressure is moving off the coast, which means that clouds will start to increase this afternoon, but no precipitation is expected through this evening. Now again, notice what I said about our area of low pressure. We can see our precipitation starting to develop. Here's our disturbance diving towards the North Carolina coast. Low pressure is starting to try to organize itself over the coastal plain. However, because of this disturbance here already moving into the northern plains, it forces this disturbance further out into the Atlantic, and you can see that right here. Now, by the time we head into tomorrow morning, what I'm expecting is that this low pressure system will be a bit of an issue over the Atlantic Ocean, but the majority of the precipitation will remain off the coast. Most likely on the radar you'll see the rain just off the coast, but the coastal plain will remain dry. You can see that dry air in place right along the coast. Now, for tomorrow afternoon and evening, there is an isolated shot of a few showers right along the coast, let's say from Long Island down through the Jersey coast. However, I stress the word isolated. I think for the most part we'll see variable cloud cover. Notice the dry air that's already starting to move into the coastal plain already, as this whole low pressure system is forced out into the Atlantic because of these disturbances here. Again, a rather progressive weather pattern. Thereafter, for the rest of the week, high pressure will be in control, providing excellent weather conditions through Friday morning. However, we have another disturbance here diving towards the North Carolina coast. Sounds like a bit of a theme here heading into the winter months, doesn't it? Now, this low pressure system, again, because of the progressive weather pattern in the west, will continue to move to the east-northeast. So high pressure will remain in control for this entire weekend, providing tranquil weather conditions. We're going to keep an eye on this low pressure system just for the immediate coast, possibly for an isolated shower on Friday. But otherwise, high pressure will be in control into this coming weekend, providing excellent weather conditions for the first week of November. That is your morning forecast discussion. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Of course, you can follow NYNJPA Weather at NYNJPAweather.com and NYNJPA Weather on Twitter and Facebook.